The New York police, New York's finest, they're just not being allowed to do their job. They don't want to do anything because they'll end up with lots of bad things happening to them. They're not letting them do the job. And I dealt a lot with Mayor de Blasio. I was very nice to Mayor de Blasio. I got him ventilators when he needed them. I got him hospital help when he needed it. I got him everything he needed. I got him the gowns. I got him the masks. I got him everything, the shields. I got that man everything. I spoke to him many times. He couldn't have been nicer. And then he throws a big Black Lives Matter sign right down in the middle of Fifth Avenue, and all merchants along Fifth Avenue are furious. They're furious. And the whole city is furious. The city is a city that's enraged. And
but
everything
nobody's safe.
It was almost a test, Sean. But I was so good to him and to Governor Cuomo like nobody's ever been good. And all you end up doing out of that place is get prosecuted and have a lot of trouble. So New York is not the place that it was. Everyone's leaving. They're moving to Florida. They're moving to other places. It's very sad, actually, to see what happened.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm the only idiot that stays here. I need to get my contract changed so I can get the hell out of here myself, to be honest.
This is Trump throwing a tantrum over the fact that Black Lives Matter lettering was painted onto Fifth Avenue directly in front of Trump Tower in New York City.
Black lives! 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 No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
And as predictably as the sun rising in the morning, Trump threw a fit about it on national television. Right off the bat, it's pretty telling that Trump says he got de Blasio supplies and equipment in New York's fight against coronavirus. First of all, those were not favors from Donald Trump himself. Donald Trump did not allow the city of New York to have those supplies. Those were supplies that our tax dollars paid for, being used how they were supposed to be used, as opposed to renting golf carts for weekly golf outings. Second of all, Trump facilitating those things does not mean that de Blasio has to repay him somehow. Trump isn't owed anything because he deigned to allow the people of New York to have life-saving equipment that their own tax dollars paid for. And expecting that he is owed something in return sounds an awful lot like a quid pro quo, although I'm sure Trump wouldn't know anything about that. And third, he says that de Blasio threw a Black Lives Matter sign on Fifth Avenue like it was a punishment. Like having a mural celebrating a historic civil rights movement in a city that's a quarter black is a bad thing. Here's the thing, if you think that words simply acknowledging that Black lives matter, just that they matter, is a bad thing, then you might be on the wrong side of history. Trump goes on to give his entire ballgame away, claiming that the whole city is enraged over this. I'm not going to claim to know what every New Yorker is thinking here, but I'm pretty sure that one of the most liberal cities in the country, with a population of more than 25% black people, is not enraged about the presence of a mural acknowledging the humanity of black people. I don't think a city that voted for Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump 79% to 19% is going to side with Trump on the issue of race. Just a wild guess. Also, if you want to know the extent to which Trump thinks the world revolves around himself, he claims that everyone in New York is moving to Florida. In reality, it was he who changed his address from Manhattan to Palm Beach. So I get that he thinks his situation is the only important one, but you could probably find about 8 million New Yorkers who disagree with him. The reality is this: Trump knows he failed on coronavirus. He knows he failed on the economy. He knows he failed on civil rights. He knows that his approval ratings are in the toilet. He knows that if the election was tomorrow, he'd probably lose states that Republicans haven't lost in decades. And so because of this, his only strategy here is to revert to the only thing he knows, appealing to his base. A base that is overwhelmingly white and conservative and not exactly opposed to racism. These are the people who signed on amid Trump's promises of building the wall and enacting a Muslim ban, who stood by him when he claimed that there were fine people on both sides in Charlottesville. And so, of course, when Trump starts attacking Black Lives Matter, it's for his base. Trump has basically signaled that he's giving up on trying to appeal to any broader coalition of Americans. Instead, he's just going all in on the most vile and racist and incendiary rhetoric he can conjure up in hopes that he'll just juice enthusiasm among his base. And attacking black people is a key element of that. But as is the case with every single judgment call Trump makes, he got it wrong. And that's because 2/3 of Americans support Black Lives Matter. So by going all in and tying his political future to an opposition to BLM, all he's doing is alienating the vast majority of Americans. And at a time when he needs to be gaining support, he's doing the exact opposite. Then again, the issue of Trump's dismal judgment is why we're all in these messes in the first place. And don't forget to listen to my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, where I'll take a deep dive into the biggest issues of the week and interview major players in the world of politics, like Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, Beto O'Rourke, Eric Swalwell, Katie Porter, and many more. Again, that's No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, available anywhere you listen to podcasts.